Hey y'all, so I thought I would do a TBR for August because I haven't done a TBR in such a long time, and I feel like it might help me a little bit with reading because I'm always slumpish and I can never figure out what I want to read. I'm always so slumpish, and I don't really, I feel like part of the big reason I am always in a slump is because I can never decide what I want to read next. So if I have like a stack of books that I can get, that I'm supposed to read in that month, I feel like that'll help me out. I've got such a big TBR, like all of this on these shelves are my TBR, and I've got more over there, that. It's just a lot, and I need to read more books than on my TBR than what I do. So I have this rule. I'm gonna draw from a jar. Oh, this is a bruise, by the way. I was in the hospital this past week and they blew my vein, so it's actually a lot worse than what it is now, but yeah. So I have a TBR jar. This month I'm drawing 5, and whatever I don't read I have to unhaul, and I'm allowed to one save. So yeah, I can save 1, but I'm afraid, but I feel like this will give me motivation to do this and also hold me accountable, so I'm going to do this. I do have a stack of TBR that I'm going to do. I wanted to do the reading rush this year, which I'm going to, because I was so sick during the reading rush that I wasn't able to actually participate. So I'm going to be doing it this week and vlogging it, so it's just gonna be late. But I'm gonna show you the books for that. Sorry, my hip just popped.
If this bitch doesn't quit touching her fucking hair, I'm gonna kill her for you. What the fuck is wrong with my ass? I can't even deal with me. Touch your hair some more. I'm sure it'll happen throughout the whole video. It's a nervous habit. And what are my headphones? I need help.
Here's the books that I'm going to be reading for each challenge. So the first challenge is Birthstone, and my birthstone is an amethyst. It's purple. I'm an Aquarius, so I have When the Moon Was Ours by Anna Marie McLemore. Apparently this is a really great book. It's actually won awards, so I think that this would be a good one to read, and it's also pretty short, so I'd get through it pretty quickly. Then the next one is read a book that starts with the, so I want to read The Death of Mrs. Westaway or The Vegetarian. It just depends on what I have time for, because this is a lot shorter. I do really want to read The Death of Mrs. Westaway, so hopefully I can get that in over The Vegetarian. Then you're supposed to read a book, the first book that you touch. And I touched A House at the Bottom of the Lake. I did touch it on purpose because I want to read this one, so, and it's super short too. Then I'm supposed to read a book that is outside of a genre that I normally don't read. So I normally don't read middle grade magical realism ever, and there's pictures and illustrations in this. I never read books like this. So I thought this would be a good book to read, and I've actually already started it. Hopefully I can finish it tonight. Then I'm supposed to read a book that takes place in another continent. So I live in North America, and this book, Tunnel of Bones, takes place in, I think it takes place in Paris. So Europe is the continent that this will be taking place in, Paris, France. So Paris is the city, France is the country, and it will be in the continent of Europe. So yeah, thought that would be a good book to read for this. Also a middle grade horror thriller type of book, so I'm dying to read the second one. I'm supposed to read a book that's taken place outside or has a picture of the outside on the cover. An Unwanted Guest, which I guess I should get the desk jacket, has a picture of the outside. So Snowing by Sherry Lapina. And then I'm supposed to read a book where I've seen the movie but haven't read the book, and that's Misery by Stephen King. That's my little stack for the TBR. So here's my jar. So I kind of redid everything because I just threw out my last jar and rewrote all of the books that I still have on my TBR because just thought I would. The green is horror, orange is thriller, pink is contemporary romance, and the yellow is fantasy sci-fi. So let's draw 5, and like I said, if I don't read them, have to unhaul it, but I'm allowed 1 save. So just trying to get through my TBR. Okay, let's do at the very bottom. What's this one? Okay, this is a horror. A House at the Bottom of the Lake. That's funny. Okay, so it looks like I'll be reading that book anyway, so I'll go ahead and count that. Was wondering if that would happen. We have A House at the Bottom of the Lake by Josh Malerman, so I will be reading this month for sure now. 4 more. I'll do from the top this time. Pink. Every Last Word. Okay. Every Last Word. This, I think, is about a girl that has purely obsessional OCD, which is what I have. A very, very obsessive thoughts, and they kind of spiral out of control, and like one little thing that happens turns into this whole like crazy what if scenario where I like play out movies in my head of really bad things happening. So like an example, I guess, is like if, let's say you almost have a car accident, but like not even like a really crazy one, just let's say like there's somebody in front of you that suddenly slams on their brakes and you have to slam on your brakes, and you could have possibly rear-ended them if you weren't paying attention. That kind of thing. If that happens, I create this whole thing in my head where I do the what if we got hit in the worst possible case scenario, and it plays out everything, going to the hospital, like watching people die in my family, me still being alive, and then like going to their funeral, and then the afterlife of what happens when they're gone, and there's all of that. Like that's what my brain does, and I can't stop it when it does it. It is very strange. I don't know why it can't stop, but once it plays, and I can't not see it, and I can't stop it either. Very distressful, and it happens more often than you think. So this hopefully won't be too triggering for me. Hopefully I'll be able to read it and it not upset me so much. I remember I tried to read it like a year ago, and I couldn't, but I think I'll be able to read it now because I'm better mentally than I was a year ago. So next pick. Another horror. Okay. See, it's August now. So to me, that means fall is here and everything's over, even though I know fall doesn't happen until September, but I hate summer. It's my least favorite season. Oh, fuck. This is so gonna test my mental strength. That book, Every Last Word, and Pretty Girls. Pretty Girls is apparently like torture porn. Also, there's rape and sexual assault, which I have been sexually assaulted before. Not raped, but assaulted. And I have been terrified to read this, but I can try. I guess if I can't get through it, I need to unhaul it, right? We'll try to read Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. It's basically about sisters who, I don't know. I'm not going to read the back because apparently there's a spoiler on the back. So it's just about sisters who, I guess, get kidnapped and one goes searching for the other, I think is basically how it happens. So far, I'm a little afraid. It's like, let's pick all the books that could test my mental strength this month. Thriller. The Graveyard Book. Here's this one, The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I've heard good things about this, so I don't know if it's a middle grade. I think it is. And I don't even know if it's a thriller, more as like a fantastical thing, but that's just the category I put it in, so there's that one. One more. Another horror. Mr. Mercedes. And I don't even know if this is horror, more as a thriller-ish, by Stephen King. Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. This one's a little bigger, but we can do it. Here are the books that I've drawn, and I've got to read these. And if I don't read, whatever I don't read this month, I must unhaul. But like I said, I get one save, so. And on top of that, I have my TBR for the reading rush, which this is part of the reading rush. So these are a lot of books that I'll be reading this month. We'll see what I can do. I'm excited. So let me do a thumbnail. They just descended. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see my progress on this month's TBR, and hit the notification bell. I tend to vlog what I read, and you can see my wrap up at the end of the month to show you what I read and what I didn't. So yeah, that'll be all for this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!